Rachel Holt for NESN.com here with Trevor Bayne via Skype, driver of the number 6 Ford Fusion for Roush Fenway Racing. Trevor, thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me today.
This is a busy week for you now. What's your mindset like in the days leading up to Sunday?
It is a very busy week for us. Unfortunately, today's kind of an off day, but other than media stuff, so that's not too hard as long as y'all take it easy on me. But this week will be a lot of fun. We get to start tomorrow with the duels, which we've already qualified for. So we'll start ninth in our race and hopefully work our way to the front. We plan on trying to win the race tomorrow and starting further forward in the Daytona 500. So we have a lot of stuff going on with fans, sponsors, and then on-track stuff going on as well. So we're ready to get to the race, though. These 2 weeks of speed weeks are really long, and there's a lot of stuff going on, but it all comes down to Sunday of the Daytona 500, trying to get the best finish you can, which we all hope to win.
Now, you've been there before. In 2011, you were the youngest ever winner of the Daytona 500 at just 20 years old. Now, as we head into the 2017 race, can you reflect on that feeling of being so young and accomplishing such a big feat?
Yeah, I definitely realized I was younger then because I'm starting to feel older at 26. But, a lot's changed in my life since then, but still that win is one of the highlights of my career, or is the highlight of my career that I hope to replicate again one day soon, hopefully this Sunday. But it's one of those things where you look back at it and it's almost humbling to realize that we won it in our first attempt and how hard it is to win this race. I mean, there are guys that in their careers that have had great careers with championships, Hall of Fame, without winning the Daytona 500. And we've done that at an early age, and I hope to, again, go win another race, whether it be the Daytona 500 or one of the other 36 races this season, or multiple. But at the end of the day, I've got a great team behind me at Roush Fenway Racing, with partners with Fenway Sports Group there and up your way. But we love having them on board, and, I love driving for Jack Roush, and we want to make his team proud. I've got a lot of partners that are pulling for us with Advocare, Liberty National Life Insurance, and Performance Plus Motor Oil. And we want to go and run well for them and get Jack back to victory lane.
Now, it has to be a calming feeling knowing that you've been there before, but the nerves still have to be running kind of high heading into Sunday. When you're behind the wheel on race day, what are you telling yourself to calm yourself down and make sure you're prepared for the day ahead?
Well, Daytona is a very different race than most races of the season. We have 4 restrictor plate races, and those races, if you watch on TV, you can tell that they're different. Basically, all the cars are in a wad driving around the racetrack. There's 3 wide, 10 rows deep, sometimes more than that, sometimes 4 wide, and you can tell that the draft is really big, and it kind of keeps us all close. And if one person makes a mistake, it can ruin your day in a hurry. So you're going, over 200 miles an hour, and one person makes a wrong move at 3 wide, and everybody's wrecking. So we have the big one here sometimes, but that's why it's always best to kind of get to the front and stay there. For me, preparation for this race is a little different as well. Daytona is not a physically grueling race. It's more of a mental race. So as I go through that race, I have to make sure that I'm keeping myself in the best spot I can, which in my opinion is at the front. You're behind less guys that might make a mistake and wreck you. So we want to get to the front, but you also have to pace the race. And what I'm telling myself is just be patient. You have to be very patient at Daytona because you can go from last to win the race within 10 laps of the end because of the way the draft works. At a race like Atlanta that we'll go to in a couple weeks, you can't necessarily do that. You need to be up front the whole day. You've got to race hard every single lap. The draft isn't there, so it gets more spread out, and it's more of you against the racetrack versus you and everybody else. So, you have to just look at each weekend for what it is, and Daytona is very special.
All drivers, including yourself, will have to get used to a number of rule changes this year. And there's always an adjustment period. Is there any one rule in particular that you see drivers having the most trouble with, maybe?
Yeah, I don't think the stages that they have set up with extra points are going to make a big difference. I mean, for myself, I race every lap at 100%. It's not like I need extra motivation to go and run up front. I'm already working as hard as I can to do that. Now, for our teams, there will be a lot of different strategy for what point in the race, you may stay out and not pit to try to get some points and then pit later. So that will change a little bit. I think the biggest rules change for me as a driver is the fact that if you get damaged, you can't really fix the body on your race car. if you crash enough to have to go behind pit road wall to work on it, you can't come back to the racetrack. So making sure that you're disciplined, that you execute well, that you don't make mistakes, and don't get tangled up in anybody else's mess is even more important this year to get results at the end of the day, because there is no repairing damage and going back out.
Not only are you preparing for this big race, but coming up in the near future in the summer, you're expecting your second child with your beautiful wife, Ashton. Now, I want to ask you, is racing in your children's future?
Man, I hope not. So I know just watching my little brother, he's, 12 years younger than I am. And I remember when he got in his first go-kart, and, as a kid, when I was driving, I didn't recognize all the dangers and all the different things, and I still don't. But when it's your kid or your little brother driving a race car, you start noticing all the poles, all the, curbs and hay bales and everything else that can hit. So I hope that Ellie wants to play soccer or something like that. Her mom played soccer, so maybe she'll teach her that. But with Levi, there's no telling. He may want to, but it is very tough because we're gone. Basically, I think the hardest part about it, if they want to race, is that we're gone already Thursday through Sunday, and his races would be on the weekend. And we like being a tight-knit family that are together. So selfishly, I hope that he doesn't want to, so we can spend more time together. But obviously, I'll support my kids in whatever they want to do. And I think we're a few years away from having to make those decisions. But I really, really just it just brings you new perspective for life when you have kids, and I've really enjoyed it.
A man who lives a very fast-paced life. We're wishing you the best of luck on Sunday. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.